The 2K Sports pregame show.
Hey there, and thank you for joining us on 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson. This NBA season didn't take long to get interesting, but these two gentlemen have always captured our interest. Say hello to Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Hello, Kenny.
Hey, how are you?
Hello, Shaq. Our featured matchup tonight in Chicago, where the Bulls will be going up against the Indiana Pacers. Taking a look at the Pacers, it's been sort of a middle-of-the-road start to the season for them as they sit at 5-5 through 10 games. We'll see what side of 500 they wind up.
The Bulls play before the hometown crowd, and we've got it live for you right here from Chicago. For the Pacers right now, they're focused on getting off to a good start to the road trip here. So Indiana wins the tip. Here's the starting group for the Indiana Pacers. Young is out there with Ellis. Then there's Hill. Then there's Lavoy Allen. And it's George in at the 3. Now here's Ellis. It's Young on the wing, and George now top of the key. 5 on the clock, can't hit. Prince with the defensive effort.
You know, no doubt last year a bit of a loss for Paul George. I mean, he had to sit out most of it after that gruesome leg injury in the Team USA scrimmage.
Bulls on D, defeated by the Hornets in their last game. They'll try to put that one behind them.
And that was a stinker. I mean, that's one of those games where you really can't find anything that they did well. The game just got out of hand and really just a shaky performance across the board.
Yeah, and I'd have to agree with you. And you know how optimistic and positive I am. But it's hard for me to find anything positive to take away from that. That's a game you just want to forget about as soon as you can.
Allen dishes to Hill. And Young kicks to George. 6 to shoot. Puts it up from 12. Lands soft on the front of the rim and drops. George has got his team on the board to start the game for the Pacers. Pacers on defense. They're coming off that win against Minnesota.
And if you look at the box score from that game, guys, the first thing you'll notice is how many turnovers they forced.
And one thing the box score doesn't show us is how many points came as a direct result of those turnovers. But I think it was a huge factor.
First 1:30 gone here in the first quarter. Ellis right side. Shot is off. And in Chicago the other way. This their first chance this season playing the Pacers.
And going back to last year, this series was an even split.
Yeah, guys, they feel like they're the better team. The standings would agree with that. I look for them to assert that with their play tonight.
Here's Allen, and he floats in for the easy 2. Credit the assist on that one.
Well, Merry Christmas. I mean, that was a freebie.
Brooks kicks to Mirotic. Good-looking screen by Gasol. Mirotic passes to Prince. Gasol dishes to Miles. Good ball movement here by the Bulls. That is good. Here in the first, just under 2.5 minutes played so far. Young with the ball. The drive by Ellis. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. Ellis has got his first basket of the night.
I like it. I like it. He broke out the fancy finish there.
Brooks misses.
No one to blame on that one but himself. You get looks like that, you've got to take advantage.
Ellis can't get it to go.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
Earlier, Doris Burke spoke with head coach Fred Hoiberg. To find out, DB.
His biggest concern seemed to be how to contain Monta Ellis on the offensive end. He said, quote, no matter where he is on the floor, he is a threat to score because he can get into the lane whenever he wants. We'll just have to try and get the ball out of his hands on the offensive end. We'll see if they can do just that.
Thanks, Doris. Here's Ellis. After Chicago picking up a basket just moments ago. That's good. Guys, no one team gaining control early on.
Give and take, back and forth, the whole way thus far.
Yeah, and you look at the lead changes, 6 already.
Now here's Brooks. 11 points last game. Mirotic the screen. Brooks kicks to Gasol. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact and he'll shoot two.
I mean, even from over here, you can see that one pretty clearly.
No question about it, Greg. I mean, a ton of contact and a good call by the officials.
Bulls made the postseason for the 10th time in their last 11 seasons. Last year, they have become a fixture, Greg, in the playoffs in the East.
And how about last season, Kevin, had that interdivision matchup in their first round against the up-and-coming Bucks. Some hiccups for them in that series, but they were able to prevail.
Boy, in that playoff series against the Bucks, the Bulls looked like they were primed for an upset as they started slowly, eventually pulled it together, and came in as the underdogs against the Cavs.
And the basket good.
A lot of space right there to get that shot off.
Not a very good job of the defender getting over the top of that screen in that particular play.
Now here's Prince. Good-looking screen by Gasol. He used that pick just right. Brooks has got his second basket of the game.
And the Cavs knocked out the Bulls in 6 games. Bulls went up 2-1 in the series, but didn't have an answer for LeBron. Strong effort from the Bulls, though, but they just couldn't match the firepower of the Cavs.
Here's Ellis. Turned in an outstanding game against Minnesota. From the line, Chicago grabs the miss.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
Brooks with it. And Young picks him up defensively. It's Prince on the wing. That's short off the rim.
He's got to be disappointed with himself on that one. He has got to knock those down.
The feed to Ellis. Launches a three. That doesn't go either for Ellis. Chicago leading. Brooks kicks to Gasol. And here's Miles outside. Good, and the assist goes to Gasol. Miles has got his second basket of the night.
They really can't allow him too many open looks like that. I mean, that's just inviting trouble.
Allen, a screen on Brooks. Young against Brooks. And it's a defensive 3-second violation. The Pacers shooting their first foul shot of the night. And he shows the focus there, nails the technical. Indiana didn't have a great record on the road last season. Only went Clark 15-26 on the year, and it cost them down the stretch.
It really did, Kevin. I mean, the Pacers had a bumpy year with all of the injuries, particularly with George being out for most of the year. His absence was most noted in those tough road games, I think.
Chicago has gone 2 of 2 from three-point range here in the first quarter. Good-looking screen by Gasol. And Brooks. Here we go. Excellent D there from Allen.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be because he is so strong in the paint.
Ellis can't get it to go.
The shooting numbers just aren't there yet in the quarter.
Brooks outside. Mirotic sets the screen for Brooks. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Brooks has got 6.
And back and forth we go. That bucket gives us another lead change.
Too many of those to count. These teams have matched each other shot for shot, play for play. It has been impressive.
So the Pacers just called timeout, their first of the game.
And you can tell they're just a little out of sync. I think he just wants to get everybody back on the same page.
Yeah, I like this timeout, Greg. I think it's a good one because it looks like they need a minute to talk things through here.
The Bulls making a switch here. Gibson's checked in, and the Pacers also making a change. Stuckey's checked in. Now, here is Young. Dishes to George. And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot 2.
You know, if you're looking to build a small forward and there wasn't a LeBron James template, you might go with PG, Paul George. Height, length, athleticism, that combination off the charts with him. And he's got a nice, unflappable demeanor, too.
Clarkson, he's checked in for the Bulls. Turner's checked in for Indiana. And both free throws good for Paul George. Yeah, talking about Paul George, a big part of his dominance, his attitude. He doesn't yell or pump his fist. He's really the quiet assassin.
Yeah, once he maxes out in the weight room, which he will, now that he's in his mid-20s, I think he's going to be an Adonis. I mean, exactly the kind of physique you're looking for in a prototype at the small forward.
Here's Stuckey. Aaron Brooks picking up that last basket. Young outside, just 5 to shoot. And George, here we go. It's not going to fall. He's taken 4 shots and made 2. Here's Clarkson. He dishes it to Miles. Misses the 3.
You know, 9 times out of 10, he's going to knock that one down. He'll spray that one on you.
Young passes to Turner. Stuckey kicks to Hill. His first shot coming late. A tad short, but it's good off the front iron. Hill's got the game tied up here for the Pacers.
Just a major size difference between the defender and shooter on that possession.
And Greg, without a hand in his face, he's simply going to spray whoever's there.
Brooks misses.
That's one he knows he should have drained.
And George, here we go. Young dishes to Hill. George against Brooks. And it's George finishing it off.
And how about the footwork? Check out those moves in the post and then the sweet finish to go along with it.
Excellent work around the basket. You're right, G.A.
Left his man lunging and reaching for air. That was something else right there.
Good little two-man action there, but they just can't get the shot to fall.
Yeah, but that was a beauty. Good-looking shot, well-executed play. I wouldn't be surprised to see them go back to it.
Not the best shot right there with a good defender draped all over you.
I agree with you. I mean, not the shot they were hoping for, but he can really cause problems with his defense.
Now, here's Clarkson. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. And for most of his career, Taj Gibson has been a tremendous role player up front. G.A., he's been extremely steady over 6 full seasons.
And Kevin, he gives you a lot of energy and athleticism when he enters the game. He's got the great length with that 7'4" wingspan. But to me, it's not just about having it. It's about the fact that he utilizes it, and it really allows him to get in there and attack the backboard and contest shots.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Splitter comes in for Pau Gasol, and it's Wright in for C.J. Miles. Dunleavy's check in for Indiana. Budinger comes in for George, and that one goes in. 2 from the line that time.
Yeah, you know, talking about Gibson, he started 70 games his first year and made the all-rookie team. But thereafter, had been mostly a 6-man off the bench through last season. It happens, but it's still somewhat unusual for a guy to go backwards like that.
Now here's Stuckey. Talking about that win against the Timberwolves, he was definitely a major factor as well. Here's Budinger. The three-pointer, no good. The Bulls have gone 7 of 15 from the field to this point.
And talking about Gibson, if he ever wants to be seen as a high-level starter, he needs to work on a few things. More bankable moves in the post, more fluid post game, if you will, and really increased strength and consistency. I think those things will carry him to that starting five.
And it's the Pacers with the ball. After Chicago picking up a basket just moments ago. A little shot fake there, got the D out of position. Dunleavy's got his first bucket in this one. The Bulls have gone 50% from the field in the first quarter, 8 of 16. Wright sets a screen. The drive by Brooks. Good for another field goal. Number 5 in the night. 5 for 10 shooting.
He's finding all kinds of ways to get it done. What a quarter he's having.
We've got 1:55 left in the first quarter. Turner passes to Young. Turner with a screen on Gibson. Stuckey outside. He kicks it to Turner. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. We get a moment now to view the league's stingiest defenses. Number 1, the Bulls.
Great defenders both individually and collectively. I mean, you can tell they really love accepting that challenge. They can stifle you at that end of the floor.
And he makes the first.
And really, the Bulls weathered a lot of injuries last season and still had a good showing in the East. Came away with the 3 seed when many thought they would sink down after missing so many games from key players.
All free throws good from Turner. And the Bulls did end up with the 3rd seed in the East, 33 of their 50 wins last year, Clark, coming in the Eastern Conference.
But it wasn't an even distribution of those wins for the Bulls. Against their own division in the Southeast, they played 500 basketball. They got their good in-conference record from feasting on the Atlantic teams, taking 16 wins in 18 games against that division.
The Bulls have looked good at the line tonight. They're perfect in 4 attempts.
And at the line last season, about 78% as a team. Pretty solid numbers.
And guys, you know what? That's made things hard for them in a lot of their games. I mean, that inability to convert their chances at the free throw line.
And he sinks the second. Indiana trailing here. And Young kicks to Turner. Young sets a screen for Turner. Gibson against Buttinger. Feeds it to Young. 6 to shoot. And he misses the go-ahead basket.
Yeah, but you have to love that tough interior defense.
And, Greg, that's exactly what he gives you. I mean, he's constantly making his presence felt around the rim.
Stuckey dishes to Young. Buttinger with a screen on Brooks. Young for 3, and he gets it to go. Young's got his 2nd bucket of the night. Well, guys, this first half has been about as tightly contested as you could hope for.
Well, neck and neck. How about that? I mean, ferociously competitive. I mean, tight as me in an airplane bathroom.
That's not the visual I was looking for right now, but there have been a lot of lead changes. My goodness.
Mahimi's checked in for Taj Gibson. Young outside. There's the dish to Stuckey. And, yep, couple bounces, and it falls. And the Pacers lead by 4.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of it.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge, Greg. And when that's the case, you can mark those up for him. Boy, even though he missed, you can't give up that kind of a look very often.
Better to be lucky than good sometimes. Fortunately, they didn't get burned on that one.
Now here's Buttinger. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Really left alone that time. Now it's a 7-point Pacer lead. And here is Brooks. To stop the run. He got it up that time, but it wouldn't fall for him. A free-flowing first quarter. Great scoring through 1. Indiana out in front. They lead by 7. After this break, we'll be back with the start of the second quarter on... We talked to Monte Ellis. He says he feeds off his doubters. He loves to hear someone say...
I think I had that all my life. I always had to prove somebody wrong, and, you know, still to this day. That's just the competitiveness that I believe my oldest brother built into me when I was little.
And Monte Ellis is still trying to prove people wrong now in Dallas after their quick exit from the playoffs a season ago. Clark, it's been a decade in the league now. For this very talented guard.
And you know, that kind of relentless determination is really something Monte is known for, and one of the reasons he has been around for 10 years in the NBA as a consistently good player and lethal scorer.
And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And a look now at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for Indiana.
Well, I'll tell you what, they must have had a good shoot-around because they've been fantastic from long range so far, fellas.
Yeah, and they've also balanced that, though, guys, with the attack off the bounce as well to get them some points.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor, all fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. On the court for Indiana, Paul George is out there with Allen. Then there's Rodney Stuckey. Then it's Hill. And it's Ellis. And at the 2-guard spot. Passes it to Clarkson. A 3-ball. Score the basket. His second of 2 attempts.
A wide open 3. They need much better communication defensively.
Now, here's George. He picked up 30 points in their last win against Minnesota. Can't hit from the elbow.
I tell you what, folks. I bet he won't miss that shot next time he takes it.
Here's Prince. From 10 feet out. That's good on the jump shot. Clarkson's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Good job threading that pass into the lane. I like his vision, guys. He sees everything.
Outside, George. Allen with the screen for George. Allen a screen on Prince. And Hill has it in the corner. Just 5 to shoot. With the teardrop and the layup by George. George has got 11 points.
He knew what he wanted to do all along. The teardrop.
Now Clarkson. He has 7. Mahimi. Oh, and he misses the dunk.
And this is why you need good defenders on the interior to contest shots.
Yeah, Greg, making every shot a hard one, even the shots in close.
Stuckey passes to Ellis. Here's the 3. Chicago grabs the miss. Mirotic has got 3 rebounds so far in the game.
First off, look, every year there are all-star game snubs, and perhaps last year Monta Ellis was the big one in the West. Hard to leave him off given the way he played for the match.
That's in, and the Pacer lead is cut down to 2 on the bucket from Clarkson.
And started hot, and he's only gotten hotter.
About 3 minutes played so far in the second quarter. And he gets the bucket. And it's 7 points for Monta Ellis. For Monta not being an all-star, there are a lot of guys that could have made an argument to be there. Monta was as strong as any.
Yeah, and his own coach said that Monta deserved it more than Dirk, his teammate. And not a shot at Dirk by Carlisle, just Rick expressing how valuable Monta was to the man.
And the Pacers just missed out on the playoffs last year and would have to settle for 9th in the East. Hard for a team that has been so dominant in the East over recent seasons.
Pau Gasol's checked in for Chicago. Gibson comes in for Tayshaun Prince. And for the Pacers against the East, they actually played the rest of the conference, Greg, very well. Ended with a 28-24 record, Clark, against the East.
The only team, Kevin, in the East with a winning record against the rest of the conference not to make the playoffs. Only went 10-19 against the playoff teams in the conference.
Down low. And Monta Ellis the bucket on the assist by Stuckey. And that's now 9 points for Monta Ellis.
They have repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid dividends.
And with as many points as they've gotten in the paint, they haven't had to do much work on the perimeter.
Good-looking screen by Gasol. Clarkson kicks to Gasol. Allen with the rebound. Pacers leading by 6. Pass to George. To the middle, deflects the pass. And so it looks like the Pacers will retain possession here.
Still early on, Kevin, in this new basketball season for Chicago. Here's where they stand in the NBA rankings. First in shooting percentage. First in fewest turnovers per game. And they're number 1 in opponent scoring. They don't allow teams to get into a rhythm offensively, and thus they're able to hold those points down.
You said it all right there. The hottest shooting team in the league. And that tells you not only are they shooting it well, but they're also focused on creating terrific opportunities for one another. Really strong rebounding on the interior, and he gets the easy putback.
A floater. That's in, and the Pacer lead is cut back down again to 6 with the basket from Clarkson. Indiana's gone 4 of 8 tonight from three-point land, shooting 50% on the 3-ball here. Stuckey dishes to Hill. Here's Allen. Shot no good. Now Chicago takes it the other way. Next up for them is going to be the Suns. That'll be at the U.S. Airways Center. That'll be game 1 of a 4-game road trip. Unloads from 9. Misses off the right iron.
And being that close to the hoop, I thought he had enough room to finish that one.
Got that one up quick. George has got the lead up to 8 now for the Pacers.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agenda.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up. You know, he just hasn't looked right to me. A bit out of sorts, if you will. Something's off with his mechanics, at least as I look at it.
Hill passes to Ellis. There's a good screen. George, that's a two-pointer. And he can't extend the lead to double digits. For Chicago, they've gone 5 of 12 from the field here in the second. Gasol, a screen on George. Clarkson kicks to Gasol. There's the bucket, good. Gasol's got 6 points.
Man, how about the dexterity for this big guy? I mean, he is really smooth around the basket.
And it's George again missing.
Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
Gasol, a screen on Ellis. And here's Miles outside. Miles with another miss.
He's been wayward and just off on about everything he's put up in this period.
Terrell Wright's checked in for Chicago. Then for the Pacers, Turner comes in for Jordan Hill. And it's Dunleavy in for Rodney Stuckey. Here's George. It's hauled in by the Bulls.
Oh, excellent interior D to force the miss.
His defensive ability is a big factor. I mean, there's no denying that.
Gibson against Allen. 6 on the shot clock. Gasol dishes to Gibson. Fires from the line. Connects. The jumper drops. Pacers leading by 4. Ellis, the pass to Dunleavy. Allen against Gibson. Allen kicks to Ellis. Allen with the screen for Ellis. Back to Allen. Marvelous lead pass, and he throws it down.
Superb playmaking from Monte Ellis. That dish was right on time.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago. Last season, the Bulls were a tough matchup, solid margin of victory for them, and never looked overwhelmed.
Yeah, you know what? They're a team that's even-keeled, the type of team that can win anytime they take the floor. They have a system that works and good talent, actually excellent talent to make it special, and that combination is a winning one.
Splitters checked in for the Bulls. Brooks comes in for Clarkson. Indiana also making some changes. Budinger comes in for George. Young is subbed in for Ellis. Brooks with it. He's got 10. Gibson the screen. Splitter sets a screen for Brooks. From deep, Miles. And it's Dunleavy with the rebound.
And you talk about the Bulls being able to beat anybody in the league. They did. They did that last season. One of only 3 teams to register 1 win against every other team in the league back in 2015.
Just 5 on the clock. And Budinger kicks to Dunleavy. A three-pointer, no good. Bulls trail by 6.
And, you know, getting back to that point about the Bulls beating every team in the league, only the Spurs and Warriors were the other teams to do that. Goes to show just how tough last year's Bulls squad was.
Wright dishes to Splitter. And the Bulls with another miss. Pacers leading by 6. Young outside. Allen passes to Budinger. Back to Allen. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. Taj Gibson picks one up.
You know, for the Pacers last season, with Paul George being out for most of the season, they knew it would be a struggle. They would go into lengthy dry spells that made it hard for them to keep pace in the East, in part because they missed Paul George's all-around brilliance and his offense.
As for After those dry spells you mentioned about the Pacers, G8, they had a number of long losing streaks last season.
Yeah, as a team, they had 4 different losing streaks of 6 or more games, and they got hot at the end. Season-high win streak of 6 to stay playoff relevant. It was just too little, too late compared to their losing streaks earlier in the year.
Dunleavy kicks to Young. It's tipped. Miles, that's for 2, and it's good. Assisting on the play was Brooks. Brooks has got 3 assists now in this one. Pacers leading by 5. Here's Young. He's got 9. And here is Buddington. Now Dunleavy goes up to the stripe, and the foul on Miles Turner. That's foul number 2 for him. Jump shot is good.
Wow, you don't see him make plays like that very often. That's a nice move there for the basket.
Some changes for Chicago. Mahimi's checked in for Gibson. And Tayshaun Prince subbed in for C.J. Miles. Here's Splitter, score the basket. Nice shot after missing his first attempt.
And that's exactly what they're going for on that shot.
Time called here. Indiana decides to talk it over.
And injuries once again were a central theme of the Bulls season last year. Losing Rose was one thing, but then having Jimmy Butler lose a lot of time put them in such a tough spot.
And so here is Indiana. It's a 5-point game. To the left side wing. Allen against Splitter. The drive by Allen. That one off the back iron and out.
The inside just a bit too congested for him to get the usual shot he would have with rhythm.
Young dishes to Budinger. Allen kicks to Dunleavy. Turner up top. Clock at 6. Right at the free throw line. And a little luck that time, but it drops. And the Pacers lead by 7.
Whatever their plan was defensively that time, it didn't work. Not if it results in that shot.
Splitter against Allen. Wright sets a screen. A shot by Prince. No luck, so Indiana will take it the other way. And they're off to Philadelphia after this game as they'll take on the 76ers. That will conclude their brief 2-game road trip. He gives them a double-digit lead. And it's a 10-point Indiana lead.
There is no way a player like him can be left wide open like that. Did you pay attention to the scouting report?
The drive by Brooks, and Allen with the block.
I like the move to go 2 for 1 here.
So do I, Greg. I mean, I agree with you. They need to get a quick look and then try to get another possession after that.
Now Chicago's gone 1 of 6 from three-point land in the second quarter. Less than 20%, but they've continued to let them fly. And Wright kicks to Splitter. They set the pick. The pass to Brooks. Again, the miss by Brooks.
Kevin, not a single point in this quarter for him. Obviously, not what they need right now. He's got to score.
Young outside. Here's Turner, and that's the final possession with the nice defense right there. And so we wrap up the first half. Pacers lead by 10. And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Kevin, thank you.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We welcome you back to the 2K Sports Halftime Show. An outstanding first quarter for Paul George. He had 14 points and 2 rebounds. And Shaq, what did you see out there from the Pacers?
Well, this has been a great overall performance. They matched their effectiveness on offense with their intensity on D, and the same all-around effort is going to be crucial in the second half. They still got work to do. Don't celebrate too early.
And now, Kenny, let's get your opinion on the
Their inaccuracy from behind the arc was brutal. Shot selection, I didn't see any. The perimeter offense they're running, you could scrap that. They need to get back to the basics. Pound it inside, more pick and roll. Try to pick up some easy buckets in transition.
And that'll do it for now as the second half of our game is about to get underway. Kevin Harlan has the call.
And the second half about to start here in just a few moments. You look at Paul George in this game, guys, he's been everywhere.
The way he was able to attack the rim in that first half, defenders are going to need to start building walls and being connected defensively if they want to have any chance to stop him.
Now, come on, Greg. That's much easier said than done when he's the penetrator. I mean, his speed and agility make him extremely tough to cover.
We've got Tayshaun Prince. Brooks is out there with C.J. Miles. Then there's Mirotic, and it's Gasol at the center position. And that's the group for Fred Hoiberg as we begin the second half. Another shot. Mirotic grabs the miss. Mirotic has got 6 rebounds here tonight. Brooks kicks to Mirotic. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Brooks. Brooks has got 4 assists now tonight.
You know what? Didn't find a very good shot on that possession, but still able to get 2 points.
Ellis, the pass to Young. Kicks to Allen. Pick up by Hill. Allen dishes to Ellis. Shot, high post, and that one's good. Ellis has got the lead, back up to 10 now for Indiana.
And really smart to draw his man out to the perimeter. He's giving up too much size to be effective inside.
Showed nice basketball IQ. I agree, Greg. I mean, if he finds a spot on the perimeter and doesn't force it, his outside shot will be hard to block no matter who's defending him. No matter what they've tried, the D just has not been able to deny them the ball in the paint.
And it's a big key thus far in this game, Clark, because whenever they've gotten the ball in the paint, good things have happened.
Prince against George. Prince with the defensive effort.
1 for 4 from the field since halftime. They're having a tough time getting it going here.
They set the screen. Brooks kicks to Mirotic. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
And a year ago, he was an 80% shooter at the line, so that's more than acceptable.
And I'll tell you guys, I mean, to see the improvement he's made in his free throw shooting in the space of just 1 season, I think it's been remarkable.
Everyone knows about the Paul George injury from last year and how it affected the Pacers. He said almost the entire season, and there was no doubt they missed him.
Yeah, and when George came back, Kevin, the Pacers got hot, but they had to put him on a minutes limit. And it wasn't just George, though. The team as a whole had a lot of injuries during the course of the season.
Young against Prince. Pick up by Hill. 5 on the clock. Allen passes to Hill. And he gets it to go. Hill's got his second basket of the game.
And, you know, as you said, the Pacers did have problems with injuries. The team roster missed 219 games due to injury. So compare that to the 69 games missed by the Pacers in 2014. Big difference.
To the left wing. And he was camped in the lane there, and he gets the 3-second call. And our 2K leaderboard up on the screen now, giving you a look at the small forward position and the players with the most rebounds per game this year. Paul George on top.
There are plenty of above-average rebounders at his position, but he is way above average.
Well, it's about his instincts. Excellent instincts, and he uses his speed really well to beat bigger guys to the right spots, establish good position, and then haul in those boards.
Back to Ellis. He feeds it to Allen. Outside, George. And it's George again missing.
And really, guys, the most telling part of the Pacers' injury trouble was this. Had to use 15 different starting lineups over the course of the season. Just hard to stay consistent and competitive when you are always replacing an injured player in the lineup.
Hill has the open look. Good, and the assist goes to Ellis. And it's 6 points for Hill.
They're earning their points with the jump shot now.
And that's right, Clark. 6 of their last 10 have come from the mid-range.
Chicago calls timeout.
I tell you what, he has quite the act to follow, but Fred Hoiberg was a quick choice for the brass in Chicago. Signed that 5-year deal over the summer, was easily one of the most in-demand coaches available.
Chicago making a switch here. Clarkson's checked in. The Pacers also with a sub. Rodney Stuckey's checked in for Young. Now, here's Clarkson. 11 points in the game. Right side Gasol. The 15-footer. It's rebounded by Indiana. Hill's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Well, Greg, for Hoiberg, it's his first job as an NBA head coach. Now, we know he played. He's been a part of an NBA front office. Clark, he came from Iowa State, where he honed his coaching skills and was highly respected.
Yeah, very much respected, particularly as an offensive coach. And we know the Bulls are pretty solid defensively, and he'll be looking to ramp up that offensive approach for that team, and I think he will.
No other way to put it. Just a poor shooting performance for him, but luckily his teammates have picked up the slack.
Well, I think he kind of alligator armed that one, short stroked it. After doing a nice job to get open, he didn't finish the shot.
Here's Ellis. Again, the miss by Ellis. Bulls trail by 9. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time getting the lid off the basket so far.
Mirotic gets the bucket. Mirotic has got 5 points in the quarter. The Pacers have gone a lackluster 3 of 9 from the field since halftime. The drive by Ellis. Again, the miss by Ellis.
You know what? You just cannot get much better of a look than that one.
Exactly. I mean, no way you expect him to miss that shot.
And you can tell the defender not anticipating the step back. He was headed in the opposite direction.
Stuckey kicks to George. Hill dishes to Stuckey. Pick up by Hill. Pass to George. Launches it. And once again off the mark by Indiana.
He's still looking for his first three-pointer of the second half after making just one in the first.
Clarkson kicks to Mirotic. There's the feed to Gasol. Dishes it to Clarkson. Here we are in November, and let's see how things are going out east in the early season. Taking a look at Chicago, right there in 5th position, middle of the pack in the conference. And checking out Indiana, a half game back.
Yeah, but checking out Chicago, this hasn't been the breakout season that many were predicting, but they're still very much in the hunt for a high postseason seed, and that will keep them focused here during the season's final stages.
And they need to stay focused. I mean, they have to ensure they hang on to a high seed. It's imperative for them.
Taj Gibson's checked in for the Bulls. And a change for the Pacers. Turner's checked in. And both free throws good for Clarkson. And so here is Indiana. They've led by as much as 10. Ellis with it. He's got 11. Stuckey outside. He dishes it to George. And all around the rim that time before dropping in. George has got 16 points.
And if you're the guy who has to guard him, it is never going to be an easy night for you.
Prince, the pass to Gasol. Back to Prince. Gasol on the high post. 6 on the shot clock. Mirotic's shot is off.
And Rodney Stuckey, a combo guard out of Eastern Washington, played a big role for the Pacers a season ago. I mean, he was great in his last game, Clark, and clearly he has not lost that love and feel.
Clarkson up top. He's guarded by Ellis. Goes up at the stripe. And again, Chicago. No good. Pacers leading by 7. He kicks it to Hill. Ellis outside. It's back to Hill, and out of bounds it is. Last touch by Mirotic.
A chance now to take a look at how the Pacers are doing, Kevin, here early in the season. 6th in three-point field goal percentage. 11th in opponent field goal percentage. And they're in the top half of the league in team rebounding as well. They've got some glass eaters on that squad.
And they've also enjoyed a lot of success from beyond the arc. I mean, as you can see by that top 10 ranking and three-point percentage, that's a shot they should continue to feature in their offense.
From 20 feet out. Will not go. This is off the front iron. Bulls trail by 7. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've had a number of empty ones, a long time without a basket.
They got to find some, you're right. Gasol against Hill, and Gasol, here we go. The stupendous finish and trap. Gasol's got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
The defender was spinning around like an agitator in a washing machine after that crossover.
I think you're right. Looks a little bit dizzy after that one.
There's the screen. Hill kicks to Stuckey. Feeds to Ellis. The tray. And the foul on Miles Turner. That's his 3rd foul of the game. Chicago making some changes. Splitter comes in for Pau Gasol. And Terrell Wright has subbed in for Mirotic. The Pacers also with a sub. Dunleavy's checked in for Paul George. Wright outside. There's the dish to Splitter. It's Prince on the wing. Splitter passes to Prince, and Wright kicks to Splitter. Chicago needs to get off a shot here. That's in, and the Pacer lead is cut down to just 2 points with the bucket from Wright. Indiana's gotten blank from three-point land so far in the 3rd, still 0 for 3. Ellis outside. Five to shoot, and stolen by Wright. Knocked loose. Passes to Clarkson for the tie. And it hung on the rim, but wouldn't fall for him. It's a close game here in Chicago. Pulls up from the corner, and he gets it to go. Dunleavy's got 9 points. Bulls have gone 7 of 12 from the floor since coming out of the break. It's Prince on the wing. Pass to Gibson. The rebound by Turner. Turner's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Ellis with it. Guarded now by Tayshaun Prince. That's good. And now a 6-point Indiana lead. Chicago's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Clarkson with the ball. Working on Ellis, and he gets the bucket. 17 points in the game.
And when he gets in his head that he's going to get to the basket, very little you can do defensively.
They set the pick. Stuckey against Prince. The pass to Dunleavy. No one near him. Basket is good. The assist from Stuckey. Stuckey's got 4 assists now tonight. Bulls trail by 6. Pacers didn't have the year they wanted to last season. Still, their defense was right near the top. They're going to hang their head on that, don't they?
Exactly. I mean, that is what this team's culture is all about, defense. And even in a down year, they were very hard to play against for other teams.
Splitter against Turner. Shot clock at 6. And stolen by Splitter. And Wright gets it to go on the assist by Prince. Prince has got 5 assists tonight.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense.
And the Pacers call time here.
And the Pacers defense as strong as ever. You mentioned 4th in points allowed in terms of their opponents. How about 3rd also in opponent field goal percentage?
Here's what Chicago's going with right now. Mahimi's checked in for Gibson, and Brooks subbed in for Tayshaun Prince. Then for the Pacers, Chase Budinger is checked in for Hill. Young is subbed in for Monte Ellis. There's the pick. Near the three-point line, it's Dunleavy, and once again off the mark by Indiana.
You know, with the Pacers, a lot of their success on defense comes from protecting the rim and controlling the boards. They were top 5 in the NBA in rebounds per game. They know that hitting the boards is a big part of being a good defensive team.
To the paint, it's tipped. Fast break, here comes Chicago. Shot's good by Clarkson. Clarkson's got 19 points.
Really not hard to see why they're giving up points on this run. I mean, they've just given them too many looks inside.
Yeah, and usually when a team goes on a run like this, it's because they are getting too many opportunities on the inside. Make them beat you from deep. All the officials are all over that one.
It's clearly a foul. I mean, didn't give them any choice but to blow the whistle. I mean, you got to play without fouling.
So both teams changing it up here. He makes 1 of 2 that time.
The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far.
And, Greg, we've seen it time and time again in games. Effort and determination on the glass can make up for a lot of other weaknesses.
Got it up. Off target. 3 quarters of play in a close game here. Bulls out front. They lead by 1. And we'll have the start of the 4th quarter for you as soon as we get back from this short break. We've got a great game on our hands as we welcome you back. The 4th quarter of action getting started. Indiana trailing here. And a look at the 5 for the Pacers to start the 4th quarter. They've got Budinger. Turner is out there with LaVoy Allen. Then it's Paul George, and it's Young in at the point guard position. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Bulls.
Fantastic passing. We saw it in the first half, and it's carried over here in the second.
They've also been pounding it inside tonight and coming away with a lot of points in the paint. I call those PIPs.
Outside, George. Lets it go from 11. Oh, and that one had the right spin on it, and it is good. George has got 20. And guys, here in the 4th quarter, still a close game.
Yeah, and actually still too close to call. I mean, this one is tight.
Instant classic, fellas. This one could come right down to the last shot.
Kevin, I tell you what, when he gets to the rim like that, he's really hard to stop.
Yeah, he can get up a few notches higher, there's no doubt.
And that's how the game is played on the inside. You can play over the top. You've got a great advantage.
Now here's Budinger. Tight defense on him. Clock at 4. Young from outside. And Splitter pulls it down.
Oh, that's a tough three-point try when you've got the defense right there.
Well, he'd have to be really good to knock down the shot like that against that kind of defense.
Here's Miles. Nice work on the board. Paying off with the basket. And the Bulls lead by 2.
Just no resistance on the inside. That's their 5th consecutive make in the paint.
And, Greg, those looks they're allowing are almost automatic.
Lets it go from deep. And Budinger gets it to go.
You know, the defense has got to do a much better job of fighting over those screens.
And, Greg, especially when the ball is in his hands. I mean, come on now. You know he doesn't miss too many open looks like that.
Brooks misses. Indiana's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the 4th. Young dishes to Budinger. Here's Allen. No luck. Now Chicago takes it the other way. Brooks outside. And it's been a while, but he finally gets one to go.
Another bucket down low. They've been the aggressors, taking the ball inside and attacking at the rim.
You're exactly right. It's been all good at one end, and let's be diplomatic and just say not so good at the other end.
Here's George. Mirotic grabs the miss. Mirotic has got 10 rebounds here tonight. So active. Out left to the wing. And the rebound goes to the Pacers. Turner's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. And it's George finishing it off.
Well, that fast break went according to plan.
Yeah, nice job there, Greg. Recognizing the opportunity was there to push it, and then excellent execution.
Chicago calls timeout. And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
I was able to listen in on what Chicago's coach was going over with his team. He tried to really fire them up to bring it home, saying, all night, you have all night to rest after the final buzzer. For now, we have to lay it on the line and try to bring it home. Guys, back to you.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Pau Gasol is checked in for Mahinmi. Gibson comes in for Splitter. And Tayshaun Prince subbed in for Mirotic. Ellis kicks to Hill. He feeds it to Young. Looking for Allen and gets it there. Ellis outside. Out of bounds. Pacers ball as Indiana keeps possession.
Welcome fans to the FIBA qualifying round.
So it's the Pacers now. So far in the fourth quarter, they've allowed just 6 points.
I wonder what the score would be if they weren't controlling the backcourt.
And, Greg, it's clearly been their edge, and in a close game like this, you look for every edge you can find.
Here's Gibson. It's rebounded by Indiana. Allen's got his 5th rebound in this one. Fourth quarter of play, and over 3.5 minutes have gone by. Ellis against Brooks. The drive by Ellis. 5 to shoot. Allen rejected by Gasol. Young from outside. It's hauled in by the Bulls.
Yeah, defense was determined not to give him an inch of free space.
Young with the steal. And now Ellis running the floor all by himself.
Superb assist there. This played the role of the maestro on that one.
Bulls trail by 3. Brooks, the pass to Gasol. There's a screen. Back to Brooks. Gibson the screen. Brooks dishes to Gasol. 6 to shoot. This one for 3. And it's Brooks. That time on the assist from Myers. Brooks has got it all tied up now for Chicago. Indiana's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. Ellis kicks to George. Hill sets the screen for George. Pass to Hill. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. Taj Gibson picks one up. Well, for Jordan Hill, something wonderful happened to him last season. The breakthrough he'd been waiting for on his 6th year.
Yeah, Kevin, you know, it had to do, and I think correlated with him getting a chance to start games, and it blew up for him from there. Posted career-high averages across the board.
And getting back to Jordan Hill, everyone had been waiting for this. I mean, greater activity, more aggressiveness, and he puts up career highs in points, rebounds, and assists.
The 9-foot shot, and Gasol gets it to go. Pacers shooting the pedestrian 36% in the fourth quarter. Their offense not doing their best work of late. Ellis left side. Clock at 6 to the inside, and the basket by Hill. Hill's got 4 points this quarter.
On the topic of Jordan Hill, hey, there aren't many guys like him with his size who can move that well. He's entering the prime of his career right now. Will he continue to ascend, or will he be content with where he's at? Time will tell.
The drive by Brooks.
Look at what Brooks has done so far. He's got 17 points and 6 assists.
And a look now at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for the Pacers.
You know, I thought maybe they'd cool off a bit at halftime, but they've continued to bury the jump shots.
They've really been on fire from beyond the arc tonight, too. I mean, a lot of their points have come from out there.
He's off on the second. The Pacers have gone 5 of 12 from the field entering the fourth quarter. Offensive rebound. And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot 2.
And with the offense getting right to the rim, at least they saved the layup.
Old school D right there, just telling them no easy layups. It's as simple as that. And that's what you expect from them.
Bulls trail by 3. Outside Gasol. Kicks it to Miles. Lets the 3 fly. And the Bulls get it back. A nice shot by Gasol.
Just lazy defense on the glass there.
Well, nobody boxed out. Nobody put a body on anybody else. Things like that not only drive the coach crazy, that stuff gets under my skin.
Allen, a screen on Brooks. And Young, here we go. Allen. And he drops in the layup off the glass. And the Pacers lead by 3.
Give credit where credit is due right there. A terrific assist.
Brooks against Young. Gasol, a screen on Young. Cannot hit.
And you know what? That's one of those heat checks if he's taking shots like that.
Yeah, heat check or not, I don't care how hot he may or may not be. He's not making that one.
Brooks, the pass to Gibson from the baseline. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in.
And that assist got him a little nod from his teammate after that one.
Young dishes to Hill. Now the feed to Ellis. Good, and it's Hill picking up the assist. And that's now 17 points for Ellis.
Oh, such a field shot there, the floater.
Brooks kicks to Gibson, dishes it to Prince. Feeds it to Brooks. Gasol, a screen on Young. Just 5 to shoot. And Miles kicks to Gibson. And they're unable to get the tying basket there. On up the court. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
Did a very solid outing for George. He's got 24 points and some of his offense coming at the foul line with 5 points there.
Clark, 5 pretty big points indeed.
Well, this team does not waste opportunities at the foul line. They make the opponents pay when they foul them. If they get sent to the line, they're cashing in.
And Miles kicks to Gibson. Gibson with another miss. Indiana leading by 4. Young with the ball. Gasol covering. Allen passes to Ellis. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for 1 more.
Really aggressive play there, taking it to the rack against the big fella.
You know, Greg, aggressiveness is really the only option when you're on the wrong side of the size equation.
Gasol a screen. And Brooks, here we go. And good, and it takes a nice bounce off the right iron and down. Brooks has got 10 points in just the second half. And the Pacers call time here.
And you can tell they're just a little out of sync. I think he just wants to get everybody back on the same page.
Yeah, I like this timeout, Greg. I think it's a good one because it looks like they need a minute to talk things through here.
Indiana's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the 4th quarter. Allen, a screen on Brooks. Young dishes to Ellis. Pick up by Hill. And it's Ellis penetrating. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will take it.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
Bulls trail by 5. Good-looking screen by Gasol. Brooks kicks to Miles. Here's Gasol. Excellent D there from Hill. And the Pacers shooting here about 46% for the game. Here's George. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. The first free throw is good. That's also good. So he hits both free throws. And Chicago shooting at 48% from the floor. Looking good. There's the pick. The dish to Gasol. Gasol missing again. Pacers leading by 7. George with the ball. Guarded now by Prince. The drive by Allen. Here's Ellis. And the Pacers can't get it to go. Well, the Bulls shooting 44% in the fourth. The offense with some ups and downs. Brooks outside. He dishes it to Miles. That drops and it comes off an assist from Brooks. Brooks has got assist number 8 here in this one already. Ellis, the pass to Young. Allen with the screen for Young. Pick up by Hill. Brooks against Young. He kicks it to George. 5 on the clock. Misses the 3. Bulls trail by 5. Prince dishes to Brooks. Passes it to Gasol. Good for his 6th make in a dozen attempts, shooting 50% with that basket.
Shots are just flowing for him right now, having a really strong quarter.
Time called here. Indiana decides to talk it over. They're up by 3. 1:46 left in the game. Bulls making a switch here. Mirotic is checked in. Left in the fourth quarter. George with the ball. Guarded now by Tayshaun Prince. Back to George. Pulls it up. Nice form on the 20-footer. George has got 15 points in just the second half.
It just seems like the more he touches it, the more the lead grows.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. They're trailing by 5. 1:35 left in the fourth quarter. .135 left in the fourth quarter. Brooks outside. Mirotic the screen. With the floater, and it's good. Walk through contact, hits the shot. He'll go to the free throw line.
Take a look here at what Miles has been doing. He has 15 points, and he's also got 1 block to add to the mix today.
Yeah, and that's just a small part of what we've seen, but it's been a solid contribution defensively.
Just what the doctor prescribed. The hoop and the harm, and he makes good on the free throw.
And the Pacers call time here. They lead by 2. We've got 1:23 left to play in the final quarter. And George, here we go. And it's Hill with the jam.
You know, he might be small for a center, but it doesn't really matter because he can jump out of the building.
Chicago calls timeout. They're down by 4. 1:20 left to play here in the fourth. Brooks with it. And Young picks him up defensively. Gasol a screen. Brooks kicks to Gasol. 11 feet away. Hill gets the rebound. Pacers leading by 4. Here's George. And it's blocked by Mirotic. And out of bounds it is. Last touch by Mirotic. There's a minute left in the game. Young outside. And it's a defensive 3-second violation. And the free throw no good, but they'll get the ball back here. Somebody near George. The shot will not go. And Chicago will go the other way with the ball. Miles the pass to Brooks. Gasol a screen. Connects! And that shot brings them to within just one.
Boy, what a pressure bucket that was.
Greg, now that's coming through in the clutch.
Left side, George. A rebound by Prince.
Man, work there to contest the finish inside.
You know, they got the shot they wanted, but his defense, deterred them from those plans.
It's a 4-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. Clock at 6. And Young kicks to George. Sinks it.
Beautiful shot that time by PG, Paul George, getting it done.
Chicago calls timeout. They're trailing by 3. Just 4 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
With this much time remaining, they should be able to get themselves a decent shot at the basket. Still, a contested 3 is never an easy shot.
And it's the Bulls with the ball. And so they foul intentionally.
You have to foul, but I'm sure they would have liked to foul someone different.
Yeah, but Greg, they didn't really have another option. I thought they did a nice job getting it in his hands and making sure he was the guy who'd go to the line. And that's exactly how you close a game out. Those free throws will bury them for sure.
No good. So it's Indiana picking up the win. This was a hard-fought, well-earned victory for him, Greg.
Guys, Paul George standing by with me here. And Paul, first, congratulations on the win. What's the attitude you have as a team right now?
Continue to play together. And we can just stick to that, keep working, staying confident, keep defending, and knocking shots down. We'll be all right.
Paul, thank you so much. Guys, over to you.
All right, Doris, great job. Thanks so much. And that'll wrap it up, folks. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. Now we'll go to the studio with the award-winning Ernie Johnson.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Thank you, Kevin. And now let's move on to the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Paul George.
Ernie, that is the definition of domination. He took them to school tonight in every possible way. I know there's 10 players on the court, but I only noticed one.
There was nothing they could do to slow him down, Ernie. Man, you go into a building on the road and completely control the action like he did. Only a few players could do that, Ernie. I'm impressed.
And folks, that's it for us. Thank you for tuning in. Always a pleasure. For Kenny the Jet Smith, for Shaquille O'Neal, this is Ernie Johnson. Have a great night.